forgot to get a drink of water. 10:12 right here on this third day of May, Woody, with the Backpack Bandits of Woods River, Alton, and East-Alton.
Yeah.
Man, this is a great organization. We were talking on the phone the other day about, some of the things you guys do, and started to go through this Facebook group and talk about community involvement and awareness. I mean, this is really impressive.
Yeah, thank you. I started the page, it's been a couple years ago now, and why I started was me and my kids were avid outdoorsmen, and we're just running through the woods, and we're running in all these homeless camps, and there was just trash absolutely everywhere. So we just started cleaning up. Well, then I started just going around the town, and just doing videos and videos and videos. Well, for like the first month, I was up to over 20 homeless camps, and a lot of them are vacant homeless camps, where the police or whoever ran them out, or they just moved, but they would leave all their trash there. So then I made this page, and we started just cleaning them up,
Yeah.
because what's trash to me and you is their personal belongings. So you have to respect their feelings on that. And we would just go in, clean them up. And I kind of wanted them all just gone. Like,
right.
Hey, you guys got to go. Well, that's like the wrong way to go about it. You have to see both sides. Yeah, some of them are just straight up homeless. Some are, drug users, whatever.
Right.
And each one has a story. And I somewhat kind of befriended some of them, and working with the police a lot, like I have, giving them the whatever intel they need if I hear something. It's actually worked out to be a pretty good thing. I know a lot of them has turned in like shotguns to me, handguns.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have them now come up to my house, knock on the door. Hey, here's all this stolen stuff, and I've turned it into the police. And the police has actually went to homeowners, and they didn't even know they was robbed yet.
That's incredible. Well,
yeah.
It's just not to cut you off, but this is really interesting because to me, I'm right there with you. I think so many of us are with, you walk through and you see some of, the homeless camps, or you see, and the initial reaction is, oh, just, go away or get away from. But you're right. It's not the way to go about things. There's always two sides of the coin. And, but I got to ask you, I mean, to have that relationship where they, the people in a situation that have trust issues and have things going on, it has to mean a lot to you to know that you do have the trust of that community.
Yeah, it does feel good because most of the community itself, the people, just say someone gets their car broken into, and like four or five houses on the street,
right.
Most of the people won't even call the police because they are worried of them coming back, destroying their house or whatever.
Right.
In my page, people send me information daily, and there's a lot of good people on my page. I mean, there's state's attorneys on there from other counties,
wow,
judges, tons of police,
right on, yeah,
mayors from other villages, stuff like that, and people send me information, and then I just forward it to the police department. But if they want to help the situation, the community needs to really start contacting the police themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, now some people has warrants where they are scared to, go to the police department. So if they got someone like me that they can tell me, okay, and then I tell them, it works out.
Yeah.
Better. You kind of have like a middle guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think what you're doing is really a fantastic thing because you're right. There's so many times that folks are scared to, make that first phone call. You wouldn't think that, but and
they are.
And I'm sure, whenever you said that about warrants, someone probably chuckled at home, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've just, when I started this, I kind of went about it the wrong way. Like I said,
right.
And now, don't get me wrong. I deal with these guys daily, and some of them piss me off.
No, you can say what you want. No FCC.
They
here.
really piss me off, especially whenever I go down there, and I'm like, hey, you guys got to clean this up.
Right.
If you need trash bags or whatever, I'll get them to you. Set them out by the road. I'll come by, pick up the trash for you. If you're homeless, you are homeless. No matter why they're homeless.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they are humans, and they do have rights, just like me and you.
Yeah.
I mean, but just try to clean it up a little bit more. I do work with a few of the other villages or towns.
Can I ask you though, do you get comments from the other, homeless folks that you talk to that go, I'm sure it pisses them off too, because, they're in a situation and they have somebody that's not taking care of their items, and it makes everyone look bad.
Most of the homeless we actually have, which we do have a lot.
Yes.
I mean, now Alton has way more than East-Alton. East-Alton has more than Wood River. We have between 25 and 50 around the East-Alton area.
Right.
And that fluctuates, because they could just be passers coming here and then boom, gone.
Moving on, yeah.
But just say there's like a group of them living here. You can tell which ones are keeping their area pretty decent, and then there's a few that are just horrible. Well, they will, reach out to me on Facebook or whatever and like turn them into me, and then I got to go down there and be like, hey, whatever your name is, just say it's Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, clean it up. Like these guys are going to get screamed at. If you don't start cleaning this up, I'm calling the police on you myself.
Right.
So we can do it the easy way or hard way. We don't care if you're homeless, that's your choice, but at least keep it clean. If you have dirty needles, pick them up.
Right.
There's children, stuff like that. And,
animals, all that stuff.
yeah, and trust me, it's not just an East-Alton problem.
No, you're right.
It is absolutely. Alton has a ton of them. I mean, East-Alton does, Wood River does, Hartford. I mean, they are everywhere, and it's mostly drug users, you know. And it's going to get worse. Whenever I started this, we only had around 20-something homeless. Well, now 20 is easy to find, And there is a couple of other groups out there that works with them. Some, feed them or whatnot. I'm all for whatever.
Yeah.
But me, I just pretty much want them to keep their stuff clean. If there is drug activity going on, report it to me. If there's stolen stuff, report it to me, whatever.
Yeah.
And then whatever me and the police department does, I mean, I'm not an officer of the law, but by me just turning it into the police department helps them.
Yes.
And just like if you would call the police, hey, this is going on, this is going on. The police department does use that information, even if it's just a little thing. Well, that little thing can be that last piece of the puzzle to a major thing, and that's what people really need to start doing is calling the law more.
You're absolutely right, because it's all about gathering data, and for our departments that are a lot of officers very overworked and they're tired because they're the job that I couldn't do it. I wouldn't last 5 minutes. And so we can help out doing those things. And you're right. I mean, people like to put the blinders on. I say all the time where it's like, oh, it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen. It does.
Well, some people they're like, hey, they're back there. Leave them alone. Well, no, because. Yeah, we're leaving them alone, but it's still offending me or the person that's living behind them.
Yeah.
So you have to sometimes call the law on them or whatever, you know. But most of the homeless I've actually ran into are drug users. But most of them has a lot of decency to them.
Yeah.
I mean, they do care that they are homeless. They don't want to be homeless.
Right.
But they have to take that first step to get into a drug rehab or detox, whatever that is, and they have to stick to that track. Yeah. But problem is, around this area and other areas, there's a lot of drug flow.
Yep.
So with that drug flow, whenever they get out and they're staying clean, that's their friends that they hang out with. So whenever they go back to hang out with them, there's drugs in front of them again. So.
Yeah, you're right. It's a never-ending cycle.
It's a massive problem.
Well, you're right, and it's not. To me, it's not about I could care less how you get there.
Yeah.
You're there now, and and to me, I've never been the person that says, "Oh, throw every homeless person out of town." I'm not like that because I'm always empathetic to or sympathetic to that enough to know that that's somebody's, family member still. That's a person.
Yeah.
And it's great to know, though, that, there's folks like you that are able to go out there and connect, because you have to get, the folks to listen to you, too. That's the biggest, I'm sure one of the biggest hurdles is to get that relationship going.
Yeah. So sometimes, it's taken me a couple years just to get to it. Now there is another small group out there, like I said, they do help out, with feeding them or whatever. And they call me daily, hey, have you seen this guy? He has, major diabetes. We want to make sure he has, his insulin or whatever.
Right on, yeah.
Because a lot of them do have extreme medical conditions. And then some of them are just like me and you, But whenever I started the page, like I said, we got an awesome group of guys. Steve Yates from Bill and Joe's Towing, awesome guy. He's volunteered for every single one. Jason Bricker has. He was actually a candidate for trustee in East-Alton. He does a lot of cleanups. Chris Rhodes does. He does that scanner page deal. He did a lot of our cleanups. There's just a bunch of people that just come out, volunteer, clean up, and then they just go on their way.
Well, and that's what's great about this. So what is the best way? So if folks want to do this, do you guys do, meetups where you go and you walk together?
Yeah. We haven't did a cleanup in a year or so. Me and the mayor of East-Alton, we have to work out some details again on one, and hopefully we can do it. Last time we did it, the village supplied our dumpsters and a dump truck on weekends. So then whenever they came out, we loaded them up. They just took them back to the city garage. That was mostly with, Darren, that's the mayor, and then a guy named Mike Moore. They both kind of worked with me to get together on that. Plus the police chief, they kind of made sure everything was vacant, just so we're not destroying some stuff,
Wow, that's real. That is just great, and you're doing it the right. And what I think is really, I don't want to bury the lead. I think it's great because you come on here, and you say the thing that I immediately thought is, when we first started talking homeless is, well, you were standoffish, you get out of here, and to see that perception here, you talk about it. It's really insightful.
A lot of people on the page are like, hey man, you're like bashing their camp by it being dirty, but then you're helping them and then you're cleaning it up or whatever. Like we did a Halloween float, had a tent with a bicycle and a skeleton on it. Well, that's the part of the page. And what a lot of people didn't understand was a lot of them homeless helped me build that actual float,
oh, what, really? Hold on here.
Yeah, dead serious. And like I can drive down the road and they like flag me over now and come talk to me, Wow. And like I said, we had a guy call me from Alton. He's like, hey Woody, hey man, I got a bunch of warrants, but I just found something you need. I went there, got it. It was a sawed-off shotgun. And
oh my God.
I was able to get it. It was shoved in a pipe, actually wrapped up in a blanket. I was able to contact the police, and the police were able to come recover it. But he was scared to give it to the police because he has warrants.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we still got that gun off the streets.
Exactly.
It's just it actually works out better for all the parties,
Well, it does, because there's resources that need to go other places that are far more, and I hate to say it, but are far more serious in some situations, like predators and trafficking and things like that.
Oh, agree. Some of our homeless is sex offenders. Some of them are whatever,
Yep.
But some people get the wrong vibe on the page. I try not to bash the village people or whatever.
Right.
Some people do. I try not to. But when you bring up politics involved, people gets up in their feelings, and then it's better to try to work with them, and then work with the homeless, work with the higher ups throughout any town or whatever. And if you can somehow find that middle, you will do a lot more.
Well, and to me, this isn't a political issue. And it's just all about finding the right conversation to have and when to have it and all those things. And to me, like I said earlier, no matter where you look, what state you live in, what county you live in, you're going to have this problem.
Oh, yeah. And I'll be the first one to admit, I've made a lot of mistakes doing it.
Yeah.
But I think I've did more good than actually mistakes. And if I would happen to make a mistake, I am straight up about it. I mean, I'm not going to BS about it, you know. But I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
know? I mean,
well, you're absolutely right, because not to cut you off, but to me, you know, you say sometimes, you know, people ask you might be dogging something. To me, it's just being honest. You know, sometimes honesty, to me, honesty's always been the best policy, and it seems like now we're getting to a point where we always have to tiptoe around it. No, I'm sorry, if it's 68 degrees, it's 68 degrees, and that's dirty, and we got to clean it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And you know, if you start going in there, running them out of all their homeless camps, then they're standing on the side of the road, which that was just recently brought up to me, which. I mean, some people, they're like, who cares? You know? But when you look at it from a Denver point of view, you know, it's bad sometimes, you know, because then, you know, just say a small business runs through town and they see all these homeless people standing there. Then they're like, oh, no, hey, no.
Exactly.
You know, and then they move on to bigger and better things. You know, well, we just missed out on that because we have a homeless problem. But like I said, there's homeless everywhere. Everywhere,
yeah.
I mean, in the small strip of trees, you know, 10 foot wide, you will find homeless camps. They are just everywhere.
Did it surprise you though when you first started this, how much you've learned just about the?
Oh man, I've learned so much. It is a learning experience. I mean, some of them is built houses.
Wow.
Some of them has like wood stoves in there. Some of them took the lights from Dollar General that has the little solar panels on there. They have multiples, and they're charging batteries to turn on the lights in their houses or their tents or whatever. I've learned so much from doing this. But at that too, if they can build a house, they can they can get a job too. You know, well, that's where a lot of people gets
the divide. That's when that happens.
Yeah, and you have to kind of be in the middle somehow. But I've helped out multiple police departments.
Yeah.
East-Alton, Wood River, Alton. I mean, Mount Olive, multiple police departments.
Wow.
Well, Mount Olive, actually, they have a page kind of like mine. They reached out to me to come do a speaking with them to kind of help them out. And I ended up declining it because they're going about it how I did it in the beginning.
Okay, gotcha.
That is the wrong way to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, just because you get more out of it if you just treat them with more respect.
Yeah.
And if you do help them out, like I pass out Narcan, we pass out between 30 and 60 cases a month. Now, a case is 12 things of Narcan. So,
wow.
And we pass them out because no matter if people want to hear it or not, most of your overdoses are not recorded. That means they're not calling 911. Who is going to hurry up and someone ODs and they give them some Narcan? No one's going to call 911.
No, you're right.
I would, you would.
Right. But in that situation, no.
No. Yeah. So I'd rather them have it because at the end of the day, you have a mom, you have a dad, or a child. That's their family. If something happens to them, that family is destroyed now.
Yep.
Because most of these homeless, they don't have no one. So the family that they have,
distance.
They kind of like, hey, you know, I'm done. You're stealing my stuff. You're doing this. You're doing that. I'm done with it. But they still don't want nothing to happen.
They
to
still
them.
love them. It's just the situation and timing.
You would be shocked on how many people private messages me and ask for Narcan. Now, some of them just do it in the comments, but a lot of them like to stay private. There's people that would blow your mind on who comes gets Narcan from me. They're like, hey, you know, my niece or my nephew or my son or my daughter, whoever, can we please have some? I'm like, yeah, because Narcan is like $70 at Walgreens. I get it for free, so I pass it out. You know, but you would just be shocked on some of the people you would not believe has someone hooked on fentanyl or heroin, whatever.
Yeah.
And some people like Steve Yates, they're always towing cars, stuff like that. He actually reached out to me wanting a couple cases just to stick some in each one of his towing trucks,
right,
in case one of his people get exposed to it.
Well, it's a good thing to have.
Schools has reached out to me. I just gave a case to the school in East-Alton because apparently they got to have like a prescription for it or something, just in case. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, so I don't really want to go into it really, but They reached out to me, asked me for a case. I gave it to the school nurse. So now, because if you're driving down the road, you get pulled over, you got dope on you, you throw it out.
Yeah.
What if a 7-year-old picks it up and eats it or something? Now there's a problem.
A big one.
Sometimes you only have a minute or 2 or 3, to help that person, and I would rather all the schools, businesses even have it. And if someone wants it from this little interview we're doing, reach out to me. I will give it to you.
Well, that's what actually you segued it perfectly, because we're going to talk again next week on some other topics. But man, I could talk to you about this for an entire show, because this is a really, and what I can't get over enough is the fact that you're honest enough to say, I'm like many of you guys and took this the wrong way, and now here we are. This is really insightful, and Woody, thank you so much. Now, how do we get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach out to be a part of it?
Just join the. It's called the Backpack Bandits of East-Alton, Woodrow, and Alton. You can join that page, or you can look me up. It's Woodrow Peterson on Facebook. Everything is private on that page, except for like comments.
Yeah.
No one sees who's actually on the friends list part. But if they just want to send me a message, or I'm down at the farmer's market every day or every Tuesday in East-Alton, they can just come up to me, reach out to me. But it's easier by Facebook.
Yeah. No, this has been great. And this has been a great interview and a great conversation that I seriously, we could have talked a whole hour, man. This is great. We'll have to,
we can do it whenever.
Actually.
Next time I'll bring in some pictures and stuff to show you, some of the stuff I've got over the past couple of years.
Let's do that. I like that. Thank you so much for your time. And at 10:33, we'll take a quick break, because Pro Wrestling Epic is back in action this weekend. We get the latest after this.